Hello everybody. Today in this session we'll discuss the chapter marketing of service, marketing of services, marketing of services. The chapter we'll discuss in this session. Now the chapter outline, or we can say the objectives of the session. Okay, so throughout this session we will be understanding growing importance of service in marketing. Next, we will be understanding basis for service classification. Further, we will be understanding characteristics of service. Then, we will be understanding developing marketing strategies for service. Next, we will be understanding managing service differentiation. Then, next learning objective is managing service quality. Then, understanding managing productivity. And finally, understanding product support service management. So these are basically our today's topic of discussion and learning objectives from this chapter. Now, before going to the detail of the chapter, we'll discuss the definition of the service. What basically service is, or what do you understand by service? American Marketing Association in 1960 defined service as activities, benefits, or satisfaction which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. Okay, what I said, that American Marketing Association have defined service as activities or benefits or satisfaction which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. Further, service can be provided by a machine, a person, or by a combination of both man and machine. And it can be directed either a person or a product or to an object also. Now we'll go to the detailed discussion of this. Now, I said that service can be provided by a machine, like ATM machine. All of us avail the ATM service. So this is a service through machine. Then bank cashier service or laundry service. Okay, this is provided by a person. Then combination of both man and machine. Like, if you visit bank to get the printout of the passbook, bank passbook. So the person who is providing the service, person himself, then the person takes printout of the passbook from the printer, so taking help of the machine. So this is how, with the combination of man and machine, service can be delivered or service can be provided. So if you look around, you will get lot of example like this in our day-to-day life. And it can be, service can be directed to a person also or to a product also. Now, to a person, like education service, consultancy service, legal service, then beauty parlor service, which is directed to a person. Then service can be directed to a product or object. Okay, like, maintenance service, repairing service, installation service, replacement of the parts. These are, directed to a product. So I hope you understand that what is basically service is. Service is the benefits or activities or a level of satisfaction which is being offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. Now next we'll discuss growing importance of service in marketing. Now, in growing importance of service in marketing, simply we can say, like, economic well-being increases the demand for service. Economic well-being increases the demand for service. How it is? Like, due to the emergence of the nuclear family, and there is an increase in the earning member in a family. and due to that, there is a increase in the demand happen of the ready-made products like ready-made foods, then other ready-made services. Now, if we say that over a period of time, the population growth rate have declined. As the population growth rate have declined and the earning member percentage have increased, so that have basically introduced economic well-being to the population in a nation, and that have basically increased the demand for service like ready-made garments, ready-to-eat food, then laundry service and other kind of services. Then second is changing lifestyle. Changing lifestyle is also increasing the importance of service. Due to the advanced medicine and technology, personal lifestyle is changing, because lifespan of a person are increasing, and as the lifespan of a person is increasing, so at the older age, people are needing different kind of service, and you will see that different kind of new products are also coming as the lifestyle are getting changed. Then another important thing here is a complexity of the product. Due to the advancement of the technology, product involves complex technology. Now, if we say about the products like water purifiers, microwave oven, then AC machines, LED TV. Now, if a customer purchase these products, they need service, installation service, repair service. Then company is also giving warranty service. So the sometimes complexity of the product also increases the demand for service in marketing. So these are the three important areas through which we can understand the growing importance of service in marketing. Next, we will move to the basis for service classification. Now, categorizing service is very difficult. But if we go through the different bases for service classification, we will get a very clear idea about the different types of service. Now, mainly there are five bases, and through these five bases, we can classify service into different categories. First base is classification on the basis of degree of involvement of the customer. What I said? Classification on the basis of degree of involvement of the customer. This is one base. Then second is classification of the service on the basis of service tangibility. Then thirdly, classification on the basis of skills and expertise required to provide the service. Then classification on the basis of the business orientation of the service provider. Classification on the basis of the business orientation of the service provider. Then last one is classification on the basis of the type of end user. Classification on the basis of the type of end user. Okay, so these are the some bases through which we can classify the service. Now we'll go through the different service classification bases, and through the bases we'll go through the subcategory of the service classification. Based on these bases, services are further classified into different categories. Now we'll go through the classification on the basis of the degree of involvement of the customer, or we can say the classification of service on the basis of the degree of involvement of the customer. So in this basis, we can find there are four categories of the service the service provider provides: people processing service, possession processing service, mental stimulus processing, then information processing. These are the four classification of the service based on the degree of involvement of the customer. Now we'll go through the people processing. People processing is the service where person or customer involvement or presence is essential. What I said, that in the people processing service, person involvement or customers present is essential. Without this, the service provider may not provide the service. For instance, healthcare center, then passenger transport service, beauty salons, educational service, etc. Now see, like for instance, what examples we are going through, in all these types of service, the service provider needs the presence of the customer or presence of the person. Then, second category is possession processing. In the possession processing service, person need not to be present, but the service will be directed to the goods of the person by the service provider. In the possession processing, it is not necessary that a person are physically present or person are directly involved. The service provider may direct the service to the goods provided by the customers. For instance, laundry and dry cleaners service. There we give our clothes and they give the requisite service. Then postal service, courier service, and freight transportation service. Now, in all this category of service, you have noticed, and we have also noticed that the physical presence of the person or customer is not necessary, as because the service provider direct the or deliver the service to the goods given by the customers, like postal service we know, then courier service also we know, then freight transportation, there also customer need to give the goods being transported from one place to another place. So it is directed to the object or goods. Then third category is mental stimulus processing. In the mental stimulus processing service, service is directly provided to the customer mind. What I said, the mental stimulus processing service involves the service which is direct to the customer minds, like counseling. Okay, and there the service provider gives customized information to the customer mind. For example, advertising, entertainment, education, and consultancy service, etc. Then information processing. In the information processing, the service provider collect, interpret, organize the information, then provide the service to the clients as a report or as a information, like accounting service, insurance advice, legal service, then programming, data processing, etc. Here, service provider will deliver the requisite information, and in the mental stimulus processing, it will be directly delivered to the customer mind. Customer need to mentally process those information, like customized counseling, advertising directed to advertising directed to the mass audience, but with a specific focus on a particular product, which will stimulate the mental processing of the information. Next, we'll discuss classification of service on the basis of the service tangibility. I repeat, classification of services on the basis of the service tangibility. Now here also there are 4 types of service: highly tangible service, service linked to tangible goods, tangible goods linked to service, then finally highly intangible service. Now here first we will discuss the highly tangible service. In highly tangible service, what happens? Customer takes a tangible products on rent. Okay, and for that the customer need to pay some money to the service provider. Now, for example, if a person take a computer, personal computer or AC machine on rent for a particular period of time, so for that period of time the person will avail the service of that particular personal computer and AC machine. But after that specified period, the person need to return the product to the service provider. So this is how service can be classified on the basis of its tangibility. Then service linked to tangible goods. In the service linked to tangible goods, when a customer purchase a product, the company or the service provider gives warranty service with the product, like maintenance service, installation service, repairing service for a specified period of time, and these are treated as a free service by the company. So this is how the service linked to the tangible goods. For example, two-wheeler, few two-wheeler companies give some free service. Then AC manufacturing companies also give some free service to the customers. So this is service linked to the tangible goods. Then tangible goods linked to service. Now when a customer availing a service, during the availing of service provider may give some tangible goods, and such kind of service are like airline service, offers food and magazines to passengers. Then market research firms provides clients with a detailed report. Okay, so these are the kind of service where tangible goods are linked to the service. Then next is highly intangible. In this category of service, the customer or the person does not get anything tangible, but the person can feel the experience of the service during the delivery of the service. For example, massage parlor, then hair cutting by barber. Okay, so these are highly intangible service where customer do not get anything tangible. So this is how we can classify the services on the basis of the service tangibility. There are mainly 4 types: highly tangible, then second, service linked to tangible goods linked to service, then highly intangible. The next, classification on the basis of the skills and expertise required. Classification of services on the basis of the skill and expertise required. There we have 2 types of service. These are professional service and non-professional service. In case of professional service, the person or the service provider need to be trained, or the person should have requisite expertise or skill. And in this category, the person need special kind of training and education. For example, a doctor service, a pilot service, or an IT professional service are known as professional service. Then non-professional service. In the non-professional service, it is not necessary that the service provider or the person who is delivering the service need to have the special expertise, or need to have the training. Like, for example, babysitting, housekeeping, etc. are known as non-professional service. Then next, classification on the basis of the business orientation of the service provider. Classification of service on the basis of the business orientation of the service provider. Here also we have two types of service: not-for-profit organization and commercial organization. In the not-for-profit organization, the organization does not look for any profit. Profit is not their main motives. And these organization main motives is to do social welfare. For examples, like government schools, government college, social service organization, etc. Then commercial organization. Commercial organization are profit oriented. Profit is their main objectives, like private airlines, private insurance companies, restaurants, private hospitals, etc. Next, classification on the basis of the types of end user. Classification of service on the basis of the types of end user. End user means the ultimate user who is finally using the product or service. Here in this category, we have three types of service. These are consumer service, then business to business service, and industrial service. In the consumer service, these are the service which basically consumed by the customer directly, are known as consumer service. For example, beauty care service, physiotherapy service, hair cutting, etc. Then business to business service. In the business to business service, one organization gives service to another organization. For example, market research. A market research firms giving market research consultancy to another organization. Then consultancy, advertising agency itself an organization. So they do help to other organization as same as to market research firms. So this kind of service is known as business to business service. Then last one is industrial service. In the industrial service, service is basically directed to the object or product. One company who is service provider or who is selling the product to other company or other organization, they are providing the service to the client. For example, machine installation and plant maintenance. These are example of the industrial service, like lift, escalator, water purifiers, generators. Okay, if an organization purchase for organizational uses purpose from another organization, so that organization will give this kind of industrial service. Now we will discuss the characteristics of the service. In the characteristics of service, we will go through 4 characteristics of service which basically make uniqueness of the service, because service is different from the product. Product is having a physical entity. Okay, product we can touch, we can see, but the service we cannot see, we cannot test unless we are not availing or we are not consuming the service. So service itself is basically a challenging and difficult task for any company providing service. And these characteristics of service have made service unique from the product. And these are like intangibility, heterogeneity, inseparability, and perishability. Intangibility nature is basically like we can say service is intangible. Intangible means we cannot touch, we cannot see, we cannot test the service. As similar to product. If we say product like two-wheeler, mobile phones, wristwatch, we can touch it, we can see it, we can go for a test drive if it is a two-wheeler or personal car. Okay, but in case of service, it is not possible, as service is intangible and service is linked to a product. So the intangibility nature of the service have made the uniqueness of the service delivery process. Now, if a customer wants to gather experience about a service, the person need to avail or consume that service. Say for example, bank loan. So customer may have the savings account, current account, locker with a particular bank, but in case of education loan or personal loan or house loan, until unless the person is not taking the loan, person cannot say that what kind of loan service the particular bank is giving. Another way, the person may get feedback or positive word of mouth promotion from other person. Then second characteristics is that service is heterogeneous or heterogeneity nature of the service. Heterogeneity means it is different, having different shape. For how it is heterogeneous, like if we say about the service is basically delivered by machine or person. Now if it is machine can deliver a standardized service, like machine can deliver service in identical in size, shape, but when the person or employees are delivering the service, that time standardizing service is very difficult, because a person who is delivering service may not deliver the same kind of service throughout the day. Like in the first half of the day, the person may give good service, but at the end of the day, the person may not deliver same kind of service. Then service may differ, branch to branch. Like one company having, so many branch. So one branch are giving good service, another branch may not give. If employees are not good enough in delivering the service, then it will not be possible for that company to maintain or to standardize the service throughout all branch. So that's why companies, they do give training to their personnel, especially the airlines companies give training to their air hostess. Then hotel owners, they give training to their employees, so that employees can give standardized service to their clients. Then another unique characteristics of the service is that inseparability. Service cannot be separated, because when service is delivered, immediately it is need to be consumed. Delivery and consumption takes place together. For example, like if a doctor wants to do the treatment of a patient, or wants to interact with a patient, patient's presence is required. Or if the patients need to get the treatment, patient need to interact with the doctor. So as soon as doctor is giving suggestion, advice, patient is listening and it is being delivered. Same with a restaurant, like a restaurant server. Okay, we serving the clients in a restaurant, customer in a restaurant. So they visit with the menu card and they take orders and then they give the delivery. So in that case also, service is inseparable. Then another characteristics of the service is perishability. Service is perishable in nature. Perishable means risky in nature. How it is? Like for example, if you take example of a hotel. In a hotel there are 100 rooms, but on a particular day, 40 rooms are occupied by the customers or visitors, but the 60 room remain vacant. So for that particular day, for that particular date, the hotel owner have already incurred losses of 60 vacant room. Very next day, it may happen that the hotel, 100 rooms are occupied by the customers. But on the previous day, what loss is being incurred by the hotel owner, that is not recoverable in future. Same happens with the airline service. Like when, flights take off, if there is 180 seats, but 120 seats are filled up and 60 are vacant. So on that particular date and time, airline service provider have already incurred the loss of 40 passengers. So this is how the service is perishable in nature. Okay, so these are 4 unique characteristics of the service. These are intangibility, heterogeneity, inseparability, and perishability nature of service. Now, developing marketing strategies for service. In the developing marketing strategies for service, we will go through the 7 P's. Like in marketing mix, we have studied 4 P's: product, price, promotion, and place. But when we say about the services, there we need to talk about the 7 P. And these 7 P's are product, pricing, promotion, distribution, that is place, people, process, and physical evidence. These are the 7 P's which service provider need to focus on when developing marketing strategy for providing service. Now first we'll talk about the product. Now if we talk about the service as a product, like earlier also said that product having a physical entity, like product we can see, we can touch. Okay, but service as a product we cannot see, we cannot touch. So it is a very difficult to sell the product. Now, if customer wants to avail a service or wants to consume a service, in that case, the customer need to have feedback from others, or customer may get influence through the positive word of mouth promotion by the other customers, or customer need to go through the past experience regarding the service availed, or the customer need to consume or avail the service. So this is how basically product as a service is difficult. Now companies are standardizing their service so that it became visible, and customers can realize it, and companies are taking steps so that customer, those who avail service or consume the service, they give positive word of mouth promotion to their known person, like to their family members, friends. Next, the pricing. Pricing service is also very difficult, because when a customer is not seeing anything physically, customer cannot touch it, customer cannot see it, customer cannot test it. So in that case, pricing is also sometimes very difficult and challenging for the service provider. Now in service, price comes as different nature, like fee. Fee is a price, and fee is charged by doctors, advocates, or lawyers. Then premium by the insurance companies. Interest on loan. Interest on loan is the income for the bank. Premium on insurance. Then admission fee. In education, admission fee, tuition fee. These are pricing, like rent. Okay, if a person wants to avail a house, apartment, the person need to give rent, and for the house owner it is a income price. The tenant means the person who is taking the room on rent. The person is giving the price as rent to the house owner. So this is some kind of nature of pricing in the service industry. Then promotion of service is also it's difficult and challenging. Now to promote the product in the service industry, marketer can give marketer can provide physical evidence, and marketer should create a image of the standardized service they are producing through the promotion. And promotion can be covered through public relation, publicity, personal selling. Then distribution. So as the characteristics of service says that it is inseparable. Inseparable means when it is being delivered, it need to be immediately consumed. Okay, so in that case also it is very difficult to maintain the standard. Now, like a courier service, they give standardized delivery service to a particular location with a specified time period. If you take example of the Flipkart, Amazon, they are doing nowadays very good in this process, because they are also to a certain extent dealing with the service linked to product. Then people play very vital role in a service industry or in a service organization, because people are the employee, and employees deliver the service to the customers, whether it is bank, insurance, courier service, laundry service, beauty parlor service. The employees are playing the main role in delivering the service. So in developing marketing strategies for service, the companies need to keep in mind that the employees are satisfied, employees are skilled enough, employees are having requisite efficiency, skill, expertise, knowledge to deliver that particular service. Then the process in service industry or in a service organization is also play very vital role. Process basically the flow of work, how it goes on. Flow of work, how it goes on. Okay, like water flows through a pipe without any disturbance. Okay, so process basically reflects the system. So if a company, service provider, if a service company have a standardized system of doing business, so obviously they will be delivering the standardized service to the customers. Okay, so in establishing the process, companies need to give focus on the value chain system, because process involves different steps. So these steps need to be, integrated, and the service need to be delivered in a standardized manner. Then physical evidence. As service do not have any physical entity, so the service provider may give the physical evidence, like producing brochures, leaflets, catalogs, like different educational institutions during the admission time provides brochures, leaflets, catalogs. Okay, even telecom service providers, telecom companies, they provide leaflet, brochures of their different schemes. Even insurance companies also, they give brochures, leaflet to the client of the premium benefits. Okay, so this is how the service provider provides the physical evidence, and providing physical evidence in the service is very much essential. Next, managing service differentiation. In managing service differentiation, any company providing service need to focus on 3 areas: offer, delivery, and image. Service can be differentiated through offers, service offerings. Then delivery, through a standardized delivery process. Like we have example like Domino's Pizza, delivery, standard delivery process. Then other companies like just now I mentioned about the Flipkart, Amazon, they are having a standardized delivery process, which they have tied up with their delivery agents. Then image, to create a service differentiation, image play very vital role. Image can be created through logo, through symbol, through company management, through company mission and vision statement. Okay, altogether the service provider need to create a separate image in the mind of the customer about the standardized service delivery process which company wants to deliver. Next, managing service quality. In managing service quality, we need to keep one thing in mind, that service quality is basically related to the customer service expectation. What kind of service customer is looking for, and actually what customer is getting from the company. If customer are satisfied, then it will be good for the company. But if there is a gap between the customer expectation and actual delivery given by the company, then customer may be dissatisfied. So in managing service quality, the service provider need to understand the service expectation by customers, and accordingly they need to shape up the management of the service quality. Now, to manage the service quality, company need to focus few more additional things. These are like strategic concept. Company's management need to develop a strategic concept to deliver the service quality, which will be aligned with the company's mission and vision statement. Then next, company's commitment of the top level management. How much the top level management are committed to maintain the service quality. Now, if the top level management are committed and they are ensuring the service quality, then it will be good for the company, because the top level management need to monitor the system for service delivery process, and if any deviations is there which they have promised to the customers, then the deviation need to be rectified and the service delivery process need to be on track. Then setting a high standard. To maintain a service quality, companies need to develop a very high standard service or standardized service process. Then monitoring system. In the monitoring system, company always need to observe that whatever standardized service delivery they are giving, this is happening based on their standard or not. If any deviation is there, that need to be correct immediately. Vis-a-vis, they need to monitor that what kind of service are delivered by their competitors. Competitors are doing good from them. If it is, then they need to improve their service quality. Then next is customer complaints. Now in managing service quality, dealing with the customer complaints is very, very important. If service provider are not able to solve the customer complaints very immediately, then customer dissatisfaction will arise, and that dissatisfaction will hamper the benefits of the company in the long run. Then satisfying employees. If a company keeps satisfying their employees, then company will do good in the long run, and obviously they will deliver the good service to the customers, because a happy employees can deliver a happy service to the customers. So these are the some area where managers need to focus to manage the service quality. Then managing productivity. In service industry or in a service related company, managing productivity is also very much difficult, because when we are telling we are talking about the managing productivity, we need to talk about the employees, because service is being delivered by a person. So if the person is happy, satisfied, trained enough, and having requisite expertise, the person can give good service delivery, and that will enhance the productivity of the company. Like a efficient cashier, efficient, enlightened, happy cashier can deliver more service to the customer in effective and efficient way in lesser time. Like a happy employee may deliver, and happy and efficient employee may deliver more quality service to the more customer in less time. So this is basically company need to focus on managing the productivity of the service. Now in managing productivity of the service, company needs to concentrate on their employees' ability to give service and improving the service quality by their employee. Next, the product support service management. Now in product support service management, main thing is the after sales service strategy. After sales service strategy. Now if a company selling a product, so after selling, developing a efficient and effective sales service strategy. Nowadays we observe that all the companies where after sales service is required, companies are giving. Like if we talk about the private banks, if a person open a savings account, so they give a demonstration that how to operate the debit card. Okay, then they give a briefing on the uses of the checkbooks. Then if we talk about the two-wheelers, companies are giving after sales service. There is a every companies have their unique strategy regarding the after sales service. Even AC manufacturing companies, water purifiers manufacturing companies, all these companies have the unique sales service strategy, which is basically treated as product support service management. So this should be very efficient and effective. Now the assignment from this session, like we can go through a role play to explain the different characteristics of service. Then we may organize a brainstorming session on managing service differentiation of private and government banks. Then there will be a case study on customer service at Commerce Bank. Then one live project can be discussed on comparative study on service differentiation of government hospital, private hospital, and nursing home. How these are having the service differentiation, a comparative analysis of the service differentiation among government hospital, private hospital, and nursing homes in your city. Okay, so these are some assignment from this session. Thank you everybody. Thank you all for attending.